Hi, welcome to Study in Estonia webinar. We're so happy to have you. We've got some wonderful different webinars about studying, university, scholarships, living, working in Estonia and so on in the upcoming couple of weeks for you. So I do hope you stay with us. Today, right now, we're going to talk to you about what it is like studying in Estonia, the general information, and to kind of help you get the feel of what Estonia is really like. I hope the video was a good start to that, but we do have quite a lot of information for you. So you're here with me for the next 25 or so minutes, and I hope we're going to have some fun. So what it is like in Estonia. Estonia is a tiny country in the northeastern part of Europe. So it is a really small country, and here are some quick facts what Estonia is like. First of all, Estonia is a tiny country with a small population of about 1.3 million people. So that's not a lot. It's one of the smallest countries in the European Union. The capital is Tallinn, with over 400,000 people living in it. As I said, we're part of the European Union. That means that we use euro as our currency, and we're also part of Schengen area. So that makes it really easy for international students to travel around across the European Union and get to see different countries as part of their international studies. We're also part of NATO and OECD. Currently, we have about 6,000 international students living in Estonia, and they're from 120, 130 different countries. So it is a really international community. At the moment, we've got about 10 international universities, higher education institutions that are offering programs in English. Among those, 6 are public universities. 1 is a private university. And then we got 3 higher education institutions, which are private. They're not universities. They don't offer PhD level studies, but they do offer bachelor and master studies. And altogether, between those 10 higher education institutions, there are little over 160 different programs in English. So there's quite a lot to choose from as an international student. Some pictures for you. On your left-hand side, you can see Tallinn Old Town, which is a beautiful, beautiful medieval town. We got some beautiful shots of summer in Estonia, and on your right bottom side, that is a picture of a bog. We got a lot of bogs and swamps in Estonia. It's kind of our thing. It's quite unique. Nature-wise. So if you do come over to Estonia, make sure you take the time to go through walking in the bog. It's really, really cool, and the water there is really clean. So some more pictures of Estonia. We've got 4 distinctive seasons. So we've got winter, spring, summer, and fall, and they're very distinctive when it comes to weather. Winters can get very cold, especially extreme for those students coming from warmer countries. It can be quite surprising. Right now, we're coming into winter time. It's getting colder and colder, and we get more snow, but it can get so cold as to -30. So that is very cold. That's basically as cold or colder than your deep fridge. You can get a lot of snow as well. Springtime is beautiful. Everything starts to get a bit greener, the days get longer, there's more sunshine. Spring starts about April-ish. By June, July, summer hits, and summers can be really warm and nice. You can go swimming in the Baltic Sea. It can get close to 30 degrees Celsius, so it can get really warm and nice and beautiful. And fall is really colorful when the leaves turn yellow and red and brown and so on. It gets really nice fall time as well, which is around September, October. The picture on your top right is a picture of Northern Lights, which is a really beautiful nature phenomenon, which is visible here about a couple of times a year. So you can be quite lucky and have a look at those. So what is really special about Estonia? What makes Estonia unique from a lot of different options that may be on your list when you're looking at places to study? Estonia, as an environmental perspective, is really wonderful. It has one of the cleanest air in the world, according to World Health Organization. It is one of the safest places to live. Geographically, Estonia is located in a place where we don't get natural disasters, hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, anything like that. It's a very safe environment to live in. It is very affordable. It's actually home to the two most affordable European cities to live in. And quite a few of you may already know that Estonia is a very innovative country. We like to do everything online, everything digitally, so we're really, really connected all the time. And we do those innovative things quite often through startups. So Estonia is a homeland to many of the very popular and wide-known startups. Skype was programmed for Estonians, for example. TransferWise, which is maybe not so widely known yet, but it is a very popular and very usable for international students when, for example, transferring money and different currencies. It will save you a ton of money. Pipedrive, so on and so on. There are quite a few startups that have started as a startup, but now are big companies. And if you're interested in starting your own company as an international student, then that is massively easy. It takes you about 15 minutes to start your own company online. You don't have to do anything physically. You do everything online. It's really simple and easy for anyone to start their own company, their own business, and actually become an employer. Since Estonia is such a small country, we do understand that probably no one speaks Estonian, the international population. So we know that we have to learn how to speak another language. So an average Estonian speaks about 2.7 languages. So we do generally speak another or even a third language as well. The younger population speaks English as a second language, and the older population quite often speaks Russian as a second language. But some people also speak German or Swedish or Finnish as a second or third language. So it is quite easy for international students to get around, to get settled, because people will speak another language besides Estonian. Let's go on. I'll tell you about the capital, Estonia. So what Estonia's capital, Tallinn, is like. Some pictures for you about Tallinn. The old town, as I said, it's a beautiful medieval town with buildings dating back about 500 years. It is part of the UNESCO World Heritage List. It is a wonderful place. This is actually the building where the Parliament is located, and on your bottom right, a picture of the new town, the new part of the city. So it is a really culturally rich city. Tartu, which is the second largest city in Estonia and home to two of the universities, and also home to the biggest university, University of Tartu, is a really student town. About 25% of its population are actually students. So it has a different feel than Tallinn. It's more relaxed. It's more a really like a student feel to it. So that is really a wonderful place for international students to be in. But what about living in Estonia as an international student? What are the options and possibilities for you? There are quite a lot of things for you to do, a really rich program that you can be a part of. For example, university students have cultural days, student days in springtime and in fall time. So twice a year you can be part of a really rich program that goes on for a week. It includes a lot of like sport activities, culture activities, things like that. When you arrive to Estonia as an international student, most universities, if not all, have orientation days to help you kind of get settled, to kind of understand how things work, where things are located, what are the most important things that you have to remember. So those orientation days, we do really recommend that you as an international student take part. You will also get a lot of gifts and goodies. For example, we in Study in Estonia will set up with a welcome bag for you. It actually includes the reflector, but a ton of different things for you that you might need as an international student to start off. And what better way to let you know if Estonia is the place for you than another international student. I can tell you a lot of different things what makes Estonia so wonderful because I'm Estonian. I love it here. But what is most important, I think, is that international students themselves say that they're really satisfied with their choice of coming over to Estonia. 89%, so basically 90%, 9 students out of 10 say that they're really satisfied with their choice of coming over to Estonia. And I think that says a lot. University education in Estonia, some important information for you. The diploma you will get here is internationally accepted, so it's accepted throughout the rest of the European Union. It's accepted in US, Canada, and so on. So you will have a valid diploma. The universities have high-tech labs and possibilities, and you will have access to that technology as well. There are scholarships and tuition-free programs. I'll tell you about that a bit later on. And what, for international students, we've heard is really important, the great teacher-student ratio. That means that the groups are really small and you have really good communication access to your professor or your teacher. You can ask for feedback, you can email them, they will reply to you because the groups are so small. They have time for you. And there are wonderful exchange study possibilities as well. For example, you can do Erasmus as an international student, so you can come over and study in Estonia, and then you can take 6 months with Erasmus somewhere else in European Union, for example, in Spain. So do like 2 countries in one, basically. A list of higher education institutions here in Estonia. As I said, there are 10. The full list is here. They all offer programs in English. A short overview of what the education system in Estonia is like. It's similar to all the education systems in European Union. So bachelor degree takes you 3 years, a master's 1 to 2 years, depending on the program, and a PhD probably takes about 4 years. And there are integrated programs as well. That means that you start off in a bachelor level and you will graduate as a master student. Admission. So as I said, Estonians love to do everything online. We vote online, we do our taxes online, we check our children's grades online, we do everything online. And that's why we do the admission part online as well. So all Estonian universities use the one online platform for international student admission that is called estonia.dreamapply.com. So you just log on to that website. All of the universities are there. You can pick and choose your program and apply online, upload your documents online, so it's really, really comfortable. And you can actually choose several programs and several universities with one application. That is really easy and simple and actually unique in the world. So this is what the platform looks like. I'll give you a small overview. This is the website, and you can search for a program what you would love to take part in. You can log on to your own profile and check what your status with your application is. You will get your feedback there as well, how far along in your application procedure are you, and what's the feedback from the university. Admission, usually the intake in Estonian universities is once a year. And the studies start in September. Usually when you apply to universities, what you need to have to present or upload in Dream Apply is your previous education diploma. So if you're applying for a master program, you have to present your bachelor degree diploma. Proof of English, so you'll need to show either TOEFL or IELTS or other internationally accepted English skill test results, and you have to fill out, of course, your application form. Probably you need something extra depending on the program, a motivation letter to present your portfolio, or the university might ask for a Skype interview with you as well. There are application fees depending on the university. So some universities don't have application fees, but some might have them in the range of 30, 40 euros or up to 100 euros. And you will get your results of admission around June, depending on the university. If you're coming from a non-EU country, you will need a temporary residence permit that will kind of give you all the rights as an international student and all the access. So it is quite easy to apply for it. You apply for the temporary residence permit in your nearest embassy. If you don't have an Estonian embassy in your country, then you probably have to travel to the country where they have an Estonian embassy. And that's one option. The other option is that you apply for a visa from the embassy and then travel with the Estonian national, or D visa as it's called. You travel to Estonia and then you apply for a temporary residence permit here in Estonia. This option is open for master and doctoral students. And you can also take your spouse with you and children with you as an option as well, which is wonderful, so you don't have to leave them behind. What about working? Working in Estonia is very important for a lot of international students. That is one of the first questions that we get from the international community. Is it possible to work? Estonia has made it very easy for international students to work. There are no limits when it comes to your salary limits or your hours or anything like that. A lot of different European Union countries have limitations. You can work like 20 hours a week or even less sometimes. Estonia has none of those limits, so you can work however much you want. You can have 3 different jobs if you want to as an international student. The only rule is that you cannot fall behind in your studies. So you have to be a full-time degree student as well. So that's your first priority. And students can stay in the country 6 months after they graduate to look for a job if they don't have one anymore or yet. So you can look for a job, kind of settle in and see if you've got an option to follow your career here as well. And workinestonia.com is the national talent recruitment portal, so you can check out work possibilities and offers from that website as well. So about living costs. Let's talk about that. It's important for an international student to know how much does it cost. We would roughly say that living costs are between 300 to 500 euros a month, depending, of course, on how much you spend. And Tartu as a city can be a bit cheaper than the capital Tallinn. Keep that in mind. And adding to that, you probably have to pay for your accommodation, which is a dormitory or an apartment. Dormitories are around 100 euros a month. So you probably have to share a room with someone else, another international student, and then you have like a common area of a kitchen and so on. Most universities have dormitories, but make sure you apply for them as soon as possible when you know your results and you've been admitted, to make sure that you have a dormitory spot, because they really go really quickly as soon as students start finding out that they've been admitted. And of course, you can rent your own apartment as well in both those cities. That's not a problem, but it's probably going to cost you a bit more. About funding your studies, that's important as well. If you're not planning on working, what are the opportunities for you? There are scholarship options on all levels. Bachelor students can apply for Estonian National Scholarship Program. This has a bit of a limitation though. The program has to do with something Estonian, so Estonian culture or language or something like that. So it's kind of very limited on how many students can apply for it. And there is Compatriots Scholarship as well. That is a scholarship for those who are in one way or another have ties to Estonia. Their grandparents were Estonians, relatives, so on. So they have a previous tie to Estonia. Master students. Master students have a lot more options when it comes to scholarships. There are tuition-free places, tuition waivers, a lot of them in the field of IT and engineering. There's an Estonian National Scholarship Program, which in this case is not related to, it doesn't have to be related to Estonian language studies or anything like that. Anyone can apply for it. And there are quite a lot of other options for you as an international student as well. PhD students, it gets even better on that level, because for PhD students, there are no tuition fees. So the PhD spots, if you apply for it, you get admitted, that's tuition free. And then you also get a 422 euro monthly stipend. And you can also apply for extra scholarships as well. And the stipend also covers your health insurance as well. So that's quite wonderful. If there is anything else that you want to know about Estonia, Estonian culture, what it's like, what do we do, what the language sounds like, how to open a bank account, and so on, there's so much information. The easiest way is download our survival guide app. We give this as a book to all of the incoming students, but you can download it on your phone as well and kind of get to know Estonia even before you come over and really get an overview and a feeling what it is. We got some games on there and so on. So check that one out and it will give you loads of information. So I hope you had fun with me. I hope you got answers to most of your questions, kind of got a feel of what Estonia is like. And do keep posted with all what we do and what's going to happen. And we visit a lot of the countries, so maybe you can come and see us in person. So do keep up with us on social media. We're on all the main social media channels. And if there are any of the universities that interest you, stay tuned. We've got a lot of really cool webinars coming up this week and next week as well. Thank you so much for joining us and see you soon over in Estonia. Bye.